mortgage rates continue to climb. So should you buy a house now or should you wait? I don't think anyone was surprised when the Federal Reserve recently announced that they would hold rates steady again. But I know a lot of you are frustrated and maybe even angry. So I'm not going to dive too deep into the why of the Fed's decision. Instead, I want to focus on how I can help those of you who are looking to buy or sell a home. I'll answer the questions: when will mortgage rates drop? When should I buy a home? And when should I sell my home? Then at the end of the video, I'll share some strategies for those of you who can't afford to buy a house yet. I sincerely believe that this is the most important video that many of you will watch this year. Now, over the years, many of you have grown to trust my advice. For those who are unfamiliar with me, I want you to know that I have a sincere desire to help my fellow man and woman. I consider you to be my brothers and sisters, and I am truly concerned for your well-being. I often wonder what I can say or do to help people in these trying times. Like today's video, I'm often compelled to create content that best serves you. I take a lot of pride in delivering the most accurate information from trustworthy sources. And I have learned a few things over the last 20 years as a real estate agent. Fortunately for you, I agree with Derek Zoolander.
Maybe there's more to life than being really ridiculously good looking. Maybe we should be doing something more meaningful with our lives. Like helping people.
I'll do my best to keep this video short and to the point. CNN reported Fed holds interest rates at a 23-year high as inflation continues to push back timing of a rate cut. What were you doing 23 years ago? I was living the good life as a surfer dude in Hawaii. I wasn't too concerned with inflation back then. That is not the case today. Despite the Fed holding rates steady, there was some good news. Many were concerned that they would increase rates. But as CNBC reported, Powell pretty much rules out a hike as the central bank's next move. A rate hike would have hurt. So what does this mean for all of those who are looking to buy or sell a home? Well, it's not great news for sellers because these higher rates continue to make housing unaffordable for a lot of people. In turn, sellers are constrained to list their homes at a lower price. This provides some pretty incredible opportunities for home buyers. Currently, we are in a buyer's market. In other words, if you want to buy a house and you can afford a home in these conditions, you should be actively searching for a house. You might be thinking,
of course he's going to say that. He's a real estate agent.
It's true. I am a realtor. But it's also true that I would never mislead you or intentionally give harmful advice. If you don't believe me, look back at my older videos. At certain times, I have recommended that you wait to buy a house. But that's not the case today, as right now is a great time to buy. In many markets, this will be your best opportunity to purchase a home in your lifetime. How can I say that? Well, let me explain. There are millions of Americans just waiting for rates to drop so they can buy a home. Millions of them. Damn! When rates drop, buyers will flood the market and prices will go up. Not only that, but it will also be much harder to find a home that you love. As a nation, we are still suffering from a housing shortage due to a severe lack of new home construction since the Great Recession. Not only that, but a lot of homeowners won't list their homes for sale because they have a crazy low mortgage interest rate, many below 3%. This all equates to a very low supply of available homes for sale. How does that thing go that we learned in our high school economics class? Low supply plus high demand equals increased prices? Yeah, I think that's it. And it's that simple. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. So ask yourself, is it better to buy a house now at a lower price, but with a higher mortgage rate? Or is it better to wait and pay more for the house, but get a lower interest rate? Dave Ramsey, who's extremely conservative, said this.
I would buy now, regardless of interest rates. We can predict that the cost is going to go up, so we might as well get in now. We don't know if rates are going to go down, so waiting on them to come down, they might not. If interest rates go down, you can always refinance. You're not stuck, but you are stuck with house prices. So buy now.
Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank agrees.
If rates go down just another percentage point, that's what I'm hoping for by year, and prices are going to go through the roof. And the reason for that
would be around 6%, get to that level.
Because everyone will come out and buy it. So if you wait for interest rates to come down by another point, I don't think you'll gain. I think you'll wind up paying more, because I wouldn't be surprised if real estate went up by another 8 or 10%.
And if that's not enough, maybe Snoop Dogg can convince you.
Real estate is the most important thing in the world. If you don't own land, you don't own nothing.
Many don't know that Corcoran is revered for her success as a real estate agent. Recently, she's appeared on multiple media outlets with the same message.
This is the very best time to buy a house.
With her background, it would be wise to at least consider that what she's saying is true. Before I continue, if you're finding this helpful, please give me a thumbs up. For the best real estate tips and trends, please subscribe and ring the bell. It allows me to keep making videos like this to help awesome people just like you. Thanks. Okay, now, as an example, if home values increased by 5% on a $400,000 house, you'd end up paying an additional $20,000, or 10% would be an additional $40,000. But you also need to consider that in a buyer's market, like we're currently experiencing, you'll be able to negotiate a better deal. In a minute, I'll talk about how to get an amazing deal when buying a house in this market. Now, because it's a buyer's market, does that mean it's not a good time to sell your house? The answer depends on your situation. But in a market where mortgage rates are much higher than the interest rate on your current home, it's usually better to wait for the market to shift to where the sellers have the advantage. And it could happen super fast if mortgage rates suddenly drop. If you're looking to downsize or sell an investment property, it might make more sense to wait for things to heat up to increase your profits. And anyone looking to sell and buy a new house might consider renting the property until the market recovers. Or seller financing, also known as owner finance, is an incredible way to get top dollar for your house right now. If you're in Utah, we specialize in seller finance. Reach out to me for a free consultation before listing your house for sale. If you'd like to learn more, watch Sell a Home Faster and for more by doing this. Warning, if you currently have a great mortgage rate and a comfortable house payment, do not list your house willy-nilly. Always meet with at least one realtor to get a realistic valuation of your house. Then take that information to a lender who can explain how much house you can afford with your down payment based on today's mortgage interest rates. With rates above 7%, you might not like the new house payment. Now, for those of you who really want to buy a house, but you're waiting for rates to drop, you're making a huge mistake. Home prices in most markets have continued to increase even with these higher rates. So what do you think will happen when rates drop? Yeah, home prices will go up. So looking at it strictly from a financial standpoint, it is smarter to purchase a house at a lower price with a higher interest rate, especially because rates are expected to come down by the end of this year and into 2025. When rates drop, you can refinance to a more affordable house payment. No doubt, those waiting for rates to drop will be like this guy. It won't be so funny if it's you. Now, some will say that I'm giving bad advice by telling you to buy a house while rates are so high. But what if you could buy a house right now, get a better price, and a lower rate? Well, I have great news. You can, and it's easier than you think. I have personally helped multiple clients during these tough times to get a beautiful new home at an incredible price with a super low mortgage interest rate. It's true. As a buyer, you can submit multiple offers on existing homes until you find a seller who's willing to negotiate. Instead of asking for a price reduction, ask the seller to pay your closing costs and for a rate buy down. Or even better, many home builders are offering insane deals. Often this includes a super low mortgage rate guarantee. So you get a brand spanking new home with a super low mortgage interest rate. How cool is that? If you'd like to learn more, watch my video, Should You Build a House in 2024? Now, just to be clear, I am not saying that everyone should go buy a house right now or that home prices will increase in every market. Always do your own research. Start by reaching out to a local real estate expert and a lender to confirm that you're in a great position to buy a house. If you don't qualify yet, make an aggressive plan to save and earn more money so you can purchase a house as quickly as possible. Why? Because the benefits of homeownership are life-changing, especially when compared to paying rent. Did you know that homeowners are nearly 40 times wealthier than renters? That statistic alone should convince you to do whatever it takes to buy a house. And for those of you who don't know, home values have always increased over time. So now, as promised, because I love you, here are a few things that you can do to put yourself in a better position to purchase a house sooner. Number 1, pick up extra shifts at work or get a second job. Number 2, sell things. My wife sold her car to help buy our first house. That was a major sacrifice. Number 3, make a tight budget and stick to it. A short list of common money-wasting habits includes eating out, take a sack lunch to work, and make home-cooked meals. Skip Starbucks and make coffee at home. Clothing, personal care. For the time being, skip the masseuse as well as the hair and nail salons. Subscriptions, find ways to drive less. Maybe you can carpool or ride the bus. I totally understand that many of these can be huge sacrifices, but it will be worth it. And a lot of people are happier after making these tough changes, deciding to stick with their new lifestyle even after they've purchased a house. Number 4, invest your money. I could do a whole video on this, but research companies who consistently provide good returns for their shareholders. I prefer to invest in the FANG stocks, which I now call BANG thanks to Bitcoin. I also look for companies like Tesla, who I believe will produce much better than average returns. Hopefully this was helpful, but remember, it's only meant to be a guide. This is edutainment, and you should always do your own research. If you're a first-time home buyer, you'll want to watch How to Buy a House for the First Time. If you're paying rent or living in mom's basement, you'll want to watch Why Paying Rent Will Destroy You. Look for the links to all my recommended videos below. If you're looking to buy, sell, build a home, or invest in Utah real estate, I get contacted all the time. Please feel free to call or text me with your questions. I'd love to meet you, and I'm honored to serve you. For everyone else, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have a friend or a family member looking to buy a home, you can easily text this video to them. And please, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell to be notified each time I post new videos. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Ty the Real Estate Guy. If you found this information helpful, please give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to ring that little bell below. It'll make you feel good.